We budget, we side hustle, we optimize our income streams. Modern culture demands a constant state of financial effort. Yet, despite all this output, most people live with a persistent, low-level financial tension that never actually goes away. Money functions as a surface layer, absorbing the internal conflicts and psychological avoidance we refuse to deal with directly. There is a deep contradiction in how we operate. What people explicitly state they want financially almost never matches the actual choices they make the moment they are put under pressure. This diagram illustrates a concept called the gap. It maps the measurable distance between your stated desire and the actual choice you make to avoid psychological discomfort. When things get difficult, the gap widens, and truth gets traded for whatever feels safest in the moment. Attempting to fix your bank account without addressing this underlying behavioral gap is entirely ineffective. If you don't address the psychological jobs you are quietly assigning to your money, earning more will simply recreate the exact same anxiety at a higher income level. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the internal mechanisms driving our choices. Specifically, we have to look at the false jobs we unconsciously assign to money to avoid dealing with our true desires. Take a look at this conceptual model. The first false job is relief. Real desire is directional. It is a vector moving toward a specific target. Relief, on the other hand, is a vector moving away from a source of pressure. When people say they want wealth, what they often actually want is an escape from the pressure of decision-making and responsibility. The consequence of seeking relief is that you begin to treat money like oxygen. It creates a permanent scarcity mindset. Because the underlying pressure is only temporarily paused, never resolved, the vector hits a boundary, loops back, and creates a perpetual cycle of panic. The second false job is approval. This happens when a true internal desire is bent, compromised, or artificially inflated to fit an image that is socially impressive, reasonable, or validated by the people around you. Clean desire exists perfectly well in private. Approval-driven desire requires an audience. It requires witnesses, which fosters constant comparison and a false, exhausting sense of urgency to keep up appearances. When your money is tasked with buying relief or securing social approval, your nervous system remains in a state of high alert. Under those conditions, financial stability is impossible, regardless of your actual net worth. The third false job is safety. This is the quietest and most common trait. It occurs when individuals abandon their authentic, risk-inherent desires in favor of choices that appear predictable, highly manageable, and sensible. The cost of this trade is steep. It narrows your possibilities and dulls your daily life. Over time, choosing safety over truth builds a deep, quiet resentment and a slow accumulation of self-betrayal. These three false jobs produce behavioral symptoms we call noise. The first is false urgency. It is the nervous system trying to rebuild the old familiar scaffold of a person in control by forcing a decision before any internal doubt can surface. Next is outcome fixation. This acts as identity insurance, protecting the version of you that never looks foolish. It demands that every action will be justified by a guaranteed result, which effectively kills any spontaneous, aligned movement. Finally, there is internal justification. This is the effort used to maintain the persona of being reasonable and good, rather than honest. You translate your true desires into logical narratives to avoid the discomfort of being misunderstood. These layers of noise, urgency, strategy, and justification do not protect you. They merely protect a specific, outdated version of your identity and prevent you from reaching authentic financial alignment. Achieving permanent financial stability requires a counterintuitive approach. You do not get there by adding new financial strategies, adopting new mindsets, or building new income streams. You get there exclusively through subtraction. Subtraction means systematically stripping away the symbolic meanings you have placed on your finances. It means removing the hope, the fear, the safety, and the identity that you have artificially attached to your bank account. This network diagram represents the state of neutrality. When you strip away the emotional weight, the attachments dissolve. Money is reduced to a single, unburdened central node, becoming a simple tool of exchange. This state of neutrality is the foundation for our ultimate goal, coherence. Watch as this single node aligns with 3 new factors. Coherence is the condition where what you want, what you choose, and how you act snap into a single line. Coherence does not require massive effort, intense motivation, or punishing discipline. It only requires the accurate, unnegotiated alignment between your choices and your true desire. When the false jobs of money are abandoned, internal negotiation stops. Choices become more accurate. And without the constant friction of self-betrayal, the persistent background anxiety surrounding money finally has nothing left to hold on to.